Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Woo, is it the end of the world as we know it? There's major catastrophe every single day. How's everybody doing? Do I got a 10 by 10 or a 4 by 4 up my head? 2 by 4. One of those. We got the major catastrophes happening everywhere around the world. Everywhere. We got shortages. We got recalls. We got war. What's next? That's really, my question. What is next? What's the next thing that's going to happen? It's funny to me how they keep everyone spinning in circles. They keep us all spinning in circles. And we got the doom and gloomers out there. We got the doom and gloomers on YouTube talking about how everything is so terrible. I think that right now that the world is spinning the same way it's spun for the last 1,000 years. It just keeps on spinning. See, we have opportunities and we have choices. That's for sure. We have things that we can do or we have things that we don't do. But the most important thing is to keep on going. You know, it really is. Lurkers, you can come in and say hi. If you left here out of anger and you've came back, you're more than welcome here. Everyone's welcome at Off the Wall Prepper. I have taken this channel in different directions all through the last 4 years. But I've really come to the realization that there's so many doom and gloomers out there. There's so many. There's so many doom and gloomers, and everybody wants to cry on YouTube that I need this and I want this and I need to do this. And in reality, we have a lot going for us in the United States. We are probably the most spoiled ass country in the world. We don't even realize how spoiled we are. We take everything for we take it for granted is the best way to put it. And I think that when we really boil down prepping, it really should be real world prepping. Real world prepping. Don't can 5,000 cans of food and think that's going to sustain you. It's not. What's really going to sustain us is learning the skills. Right now, I'm taking some classes. I'm taking a first aid class and a CPR class. Got a pretty cool thing, a little portable CPR mask. And, those things will help us in the real world. Tightening our financial belt will help us in the real world. Stop feeding into the doom and gloom and the news on a daily basis. That will probably change your attitude real quick. you know, I, I really, I have reported all kinds of things on this channel. We've had fun. We've had trivia, which is this Sunday night. I think trivia is a great thing. Hello, hello, hello. Hebel AS. Hello, hello. All you new people that are coming to the channel, I welcome you here. We are a channel of light, love, and hope. See, prepping is not all about the doom and gloomy. We're going to have a nuclear war. We've been hearing that for what, 4 years now. Yes, I jumped on the bandwagon about that one. I think it's important to be prepared for anything because we don't know what's going to happen. You're taking a sewing class. See, that's real world prepping, Coffee First Then Speaks. That's real world prepping. Don't hoard, baby. Don't hoard baby oil like Diddy. Well, yeah, the baby oil might get you in trouble. They might think you're slithery, slithery. Do I have any advice for a student preparing for university? Tighten your belt. Don't rely on mommy and daddy. Find alternate ways of transportation. Save your money. Uh, put your head in the books because that's why you're going to university. I think that's one thing. I had a friend of mine. I'll answer this question because I think it's interesting. I had a friend of mine that used to go dumpster diving at the freaking university because the kids are so wasteful there. See, we're spoiled, spoiled, spoiled in the United States. So what they would do is they would go and dumpster dive after the kids would leave. They got new laptops, mattresses, clothes, all kinds of stuff, radios, alarm clocks, all the things that mommy and daddy bought for them on the credit card. See, that's the problem in the United States is that we get on this I want, give me shit instead of I appreciate what I got. Do I believe the earth is flat? I believe that the earth is spinning. Jimmy, welcome to the chat. It could possibly be flat. It could possibly be round. I mean, it's all in the perception of the eye. It really depends on how you're looking at things. It's like people looking at a glass. Is it half full or half empty? Which departments do you think you should be studied at university. Well, where are you going to school at? Let's pick your brain for a minute. Where are you going to school at? Prepping is really about doing the things that are going to prepare you for the future. Right now, I've been doing a 5K challenge. Very interesting. So, first of all, this 5K challenge, you can go look it up anywhere on the internet. They want you to pay 19.99 for it. Okay, hold on. You're trying to teach me how to save $5,000, right? Yeah. They wanted us to pay 19.99 for this 5K challenge, right? So I said, "Well, why would I give you 19.99 when you just gave me all the instructions how to do it?" So I got some index cards. I cut those little babies up, and I'm doing my own 5K challenge. And guess how much it cost me? A whole bunch of nothing. It cost me a whole bunch of absolute nothing. I like black people. I like black people too. I like black, green, purple, Puerto Ricans, Chinese, Cubans. Um, I think people are people. What do you think about that, Joseph? I think, you know, people are people. It doesn't matter what color you are. It matters if you're a good person or if you're a piece of shit. It doesn't matter. Hooray and go me. Well, go you, Joseph. Go you. You're in Turkey. Well, it depends what your major when it really boils down to prepping, right? Let's talk about this in reality, not the bullshit. Uh, Go out and buy and be a hoarder and spend all your money because tomorrow it's the end of the world. Let's talk about it in reality. Reality prepping is preparing yourself for whatever journey you're on. Like I may be on a different prepping journey than you, right? You're literally blind. Well, Joseph, okay, shit. Anyway, so prepping is about everybody's journey in life. And we can prepare for financial hardship. We can prepare for losing our job. We can prepare that your car's going to get a fucking flat tire. We can prepare that God is coming tomorrow to take us off this earth. We can prepare all kinds of things, right? We can prepare for your friend falls down the hill and scrapes their knee and their whiny titty baby. And well, and they want you to pick them up and maybe you need to give them a little first aid. We can prepare for all those things. But I think the most important thing that we can prepare for is not to be a hypocrite and to prepare our spirits in love, light, and hope. Because no matter how shitty of a day you have, right now I'm currently working with people that have had some pretty shitty days. They've been incarcerated. Okay. They've been in prison. They've been in jails all around this wonderful country of the United States. And some of them feel like really hope is gone. And when you sit down and talk to them, a lot of the stories they tell are the same stories that you've had in your life. You just didn't get busted, you know. Um, And the interesting thing is that I think people give up hope. I think that let's get on a little bit of a hope rampage this morning instead of the doom and gloomy shit. Hope is when you feel like you can't put your boots on the ground anymore. You feel like that ex-wife or that ex-husband just smashed you right in the stomach, that your kid just went to jail, that your uncle is incarcerated, that maybe they're on drugs. That is giving up hope. And when we give up hope, we can't wake up in the morning and put our boots on the ground because we're depressed. And so I think being spiritually centered, and I'm not talking religion, okay? I'm talking spiritually centered. Having faith that tomorrow will be a better day, that tomorrow that things will be a little brighter. And many of these men and women that I'm working with, one of them incarcerated for over 30 years, he said he had given up hope. But then all of a sudden one day he was talking to somebody and they said, "Why don't you read the Bible just for a minute? You don't have to become a religious person, but become a spiritual person. Read Psalms or Proverbs." And he opened it up and he started reading. And he realized things are way bigger than us. We're like a little pebble of sand on the beach, and the water comes in, and all this sand is there everywhere. And then, boom, it rushes out to the ocean and it's gone. And I think that many, many times that we all give up fucking hope. That many times you say, that ex wife of mine, she wants all my money. She wants to slam my name through the mud. She's trying to take the kids. Our whole family's destroyed. And we give up hope and we get depressed. And depression is a killer. It really is. Pretty good at typing. Yeah, you are. Coffee person speaks. You love your voice. You should do ASMR sound like ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, puff puffs, and frogs. This is Kim, aka known as Off the Wall Prepper. We're here this morning on October the 4th, 2024, 9:54 a.m. Mountain Time. I I really enjoy YouTube. I enjoy the people that I've met on YouTube, even the haters, right? Oh, you're so right. Even the haters, Ginger, I love them. You know why? Because when you come in here and you hate in the chat or you go over to someone else's chat and you're hating, maybe it's time for you to look in the mirror and realize that you're not perfect. No one's perfect. I'm just on one today. I just been thinking about so many things, especially with this new career field that I've stepped out into. Joseph, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what? Let's get on that topic a minute. Yeah, it's mountain time, twilight zone time, where everybody puffs. It's I want to get on this topic a minute, Joseph. What you said about religion. I had someone actually tell me once not to go into a bar and talk about Jesus. Really? Not, don't go in that bar and talk about Jesus. Don't talk about Jesus to a drug addict or alcoholic. And you know what it really boils down to is that God didn't come here for the Almighty. God didn't come here for, oh, well, I'm holier than thou and everything's okay in my life, even though I'm full of shit, right? He came here to give us hope, light, love, and hope. Love, light, and hope, right? He really did. And I think that many times people take religion and they put it in this little box and you go in this little building just on Sundays or maybe just special occasions. You don't really believe. You don't really have faith because come Monday, you're drinking, you're drugging, you're all fucked up in your head and your heart. I'm not a hypocrite. I don't believe anybody's sin is bigger than anybody else's. I'm not here to judge nobody, just like all of us we shouldn't be. Really, it's spirituality. It's a journey of life of discovering yourself, discovering the things that make you happy and the things that make you sad. I love prepping. I think that prepping comes from this thing deep in your spirit where you go, you know what? I lost my job last year and it put me in a real financial bind. And I'm talking from personal experience. And the thing is that prepping, if I would have tightened my belt a little more, quit buying the new tennis shoes and going places I didn't need to go, going out to eat dinner all the time, I would have been a little bit more prepared. And when you get in a financial bind, that's when it really stresses you out. What's up, Josh? Good to see you, man. It's one of those things that all of us are on this self-discovery path. And prepping is all about that, really. First we start out prepping and we listen to all these people. Doomsday is coming. Maybe doomsday is already here, especially in the United States. We are losing the way of life that we're used to. And then I think the other thing is that people are getting very bitter because the immigrants are getting things that Americans don't have. It's harder and harder to find a job. How many of you, I'll give my age away by saying this, but in the 1980s, after I got out of the Navy, you could go out and you could find a new job every single day, all the time. It was no big deal. And if you didn't like that job, you just quit and went on. And most of the time, your bills were paid and you had money in your pocket. Those things have changed in the United States. Hyperinflation has hit the United States. And I think, yeah, coffee first. Most definitely. Most definitely. There was some YouTubers, prepping channels, bashing people that were trying to help. I'm not saying that every single person that says that they're doing something is doing what they say. But you also got to give people the benefit of the doubt. You can let this world make you a very angry, ugly person, or you can keep going. You know what? I went into the woods and people were tripping out because they were like, "That's a homeless encampment." Shit, maybe tomorrow I could end up in a homeless encampment. Maybe you could. The thing is there's still people. Could I have put myself in danger? Maybe, but you know what? I believe that when God tugs at your heart or tugs at your shoulder and tells you to go do something, you do it. Because there's a great story. I heard it about 2 years ago. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. So this guy goes to the store late, late at night, and God put it on his heart to buy a gallon of milk. He's like, this guy's like looking around like, I don't need no gallon of milk. What do I need a gallon of milk for? But something inside of him kept telling him to buy a gallon of milk. So he listened. He bought the gallon of milk. He's driving in New York City, some pretty rough neighborhoods. Took a wrong turn. He's in a really bad neighborhood. Something put it on his heart and said, stop right there, right now. He's looking around like, are you, thinking to himself, am I crazy? Am I crazy? Why am I stopping? He stops. He gets out. He takes a big stretch and he looks around and he hears voices. And he goes to the door and he hears the voices get louder and louder. And it's a man and a woman, and the woman's crying, and the man's trying to calm her down. For some reason, he knocks on the door. The man opens the door and he said, I don't know why I'm here, but here's a gallon of milk. And the wife come rushing out of the bedroom crying, and it was to feed their baby that hadn't been fed in days. See, that's how God works. That's how God works in our lives. And sometimes God tells you to do things and you're going, hell no. Oh, why do I want to do that? Are you crazy? But that's how spirituality works. And and when it comes down to off the wall prepper and prepping, I believe many times that I've led this channel into way different topics than just the regular norm of doom and gloom. People have called me a doom and gloomer, but I don't think so. You got your power on yesterday and water. That's good. I'm glad to hear it, Josh. I'm glad you're safe. The thing is, folks, is that we can follow that inner strength. And many times it's going to come to play in prepping. Maybe you're having a shitty day and you go to open the fridge and your favorite drink's not there. And you realize you haven't prepped for those days. Maybe you get hurt working in the yard. Maybe your kid gets hurt and you don't even have a first aid kit. See, that's what prepping is really about. Is that little insurance policy, that little bit, like Ginger said, to be prepared for a bad, shitty day. We don't always have to be prepared for the doom, the gloom, because we can't control that, right? We can't control how the governments fight each other and what it usually is over is oil and gas, over control. We can't control those things. What we can control is how we react to them. We can absorb and take it in and more in our brain and our spirits, or we can say, not today. I'm going to prepare for winter. I'm going to prepare for fall. I'm going to make sure my car has extra antifreeze, an extra blanket, an extra jacket, fix a flat. I'm going to check those tires. I'm going to check those belts because we're going into winter. Maybe it's hot as shit where you're at, like in the Philippines that I just got back from. Maybe they need to prepare in a different way because it's the rainy season. It's time for it to flood and have all kinds of issues with rain. See, each one of us needs to prepare in those ways. I was born like this. I cannot prep. And see, copy first. It's interesting to me. I've actually went into prepping channels and they said, I'm getting burnout on prepping. You're burnout on prepping. Prepping is a way of life. Prepping is a way of life. It's not about, I got to go buy this, this, and this, and this, right? It's not about that. Of course, I have my get home bag. Of course I do. And actually, that bag has came in handy. If y'all remember, what was it, 2.5 years ago, and I was doing the demo with the RSQME, which is a window breaker, comparing them to the other window breakers and the seatbelt cutters. I like doing demos. And so I was doing that demo, if y'all remember this, and instead of the window exploding, it imploded on me and cut the shit out of my hand. I had like 10 pieces of glass sticking out of my hands. And I grabbed my get home bag, Guess what? I realized that day I didn't have a lot of first aid stuff in my get home bag. I had it in my car and I needed it right then. And the first thing I had was a sock. And I wrapped my hand up with a sock. Y'all might remember because I had a demo and blood's just dripping down. And I'm like, and somebody said, well, why didn't you wear gloves? Am I going to be driving my car, go off the side of a cliff, go into the water, and have gloves on? Probably not unless it's winter. It's more for my folks. I was good. Tell everybody it's come down. Everyone faces weather warfare. We're at war. Act accordingly. Well, we've been at war for a while, Josh. If you think back in history, we've been at war forever. This country, the United States of America, has not been peaceful except 14 years in existence. That's fact. First aid is not sexy. It's so often overlooked, but it's one preparation we'll need more than anything else. And you're right. Welcome to the chat. You're so right. And first aid is one of those things that people get really complicated about because they're like, well, I don't have enough knowledge to do this. A snake bite kit, an insect bite kit, a freaking basic first aid kit. Put your own together. Go to the Dollar Tree. I don't, some things at the Dollar Tree are great, other ones aren't. But I think first aid gets overlooked a lot of times because we're intimidated by it. And I have been. When I was in the Navy, we had to take a first aid class, and I took one more when I had my company in Denver, but I haven't taken a first aid class for a long time. Now, because of my new job, I actually have to take what is the drug? What is it? New can new shit. It's for people that OD basically. New can? New shit. I can't remember the new can, I think it's what it's called. Am I right? Coffee first? Anyway, so I got to take a class on that. I got to take CPR. I got to take first aid. So it's great because this new Narcan. Okay, I was close. Narcan. I was saying it a little wrong. Thank you. But I have to take a class on how to administer that. I have to take a first aid class and a CPR class, and which is great because that means that educating myself, prepping myself, learning more is coming paid for by my job. But there is some great first aid classes online that you can take. And not only that, the American Red Cross, people think shitty about them because every nonprofit sucks up so much money. Not 100% of any nonprofit goes directly to the people. That's just how it is. I mean, are you going to go work for free? I've been involved in nonprofit organizations for 25 years or longer. Um, and there's no way that they could operate without paying people. Volunteers can't cut it. And then they still have a huge volunteer base, on nonprofits. But the American Red Cross, swimming certified. What's up, Alley Cat? Alley Cat, what's up? I think it's really important, right? To get those things in place because you never know when an emergency is going to happen. You never know where you're going to be. It's just like when I was in the Navy and there was more than one incident. All of you, if you go watch the live stream that's about survival skills, about when I went off the cliff and my friend lost her life, which gave me my PTSD, a gift that never goes away from the Navy. But, your survival instincts kick in and we become animalistic. We become survival mode. And like, I don't even remember doing the things I did during that wreck. Someone actually had to tell me. Because the thing is that when you're pushed into a corner, we come out like a rattlesnake and we will bite. And see, that's what many countries are scared of with Americans is that we're easygoing. Most of us don't want confrontation unless it comes down to the wire. But I think that first aid is a beneficial thing that each and every one of us, even if you take just a little bit from that, even if you go take a class and you only remember so much, the more you do things, the more you do things like first aid, CPR, applying Narcan, things like that, the more it becomes habit. And in prepping, especially, I love bushcrafting. And that's another one is that bushcrafting, you do it so many times, it becomes like it's just automatic. It's automatic. It's not that you even have to think about it. You just do it. Salaman, thank you, Reza Danbella. Let me make some of you mods. from Indonesia. Thank you for visiting from Indonesia. We are going to have prepper trivia on Sunday night. I'm going to bring it back on Sunday nights. I hope more and more of you will come in and participate because I put a lot into that show to make the trivia, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to have movies, some information about movies. If you're a mod already, go ahead and drop your link. Let's support each other because that's what community is really about. Nice to see you, Civilian Preparedness. I'm going to go ahead and add you as a mod too. Coffee First Then Speak. Drop your link. Ginger Bell. Baby, baby, baby. Joe, Joseph. Sorry about that. Joseph, I just made you a standard mod. Anybody that wants to be a mod, or if you don't know how to drop your own link, just yell. Hebel, that you're here all the way from India. I'm glad that people are tuning in from all around the world. Update. When I needed mine, the Band-Aids wouldn't stick. Neosporin was stuck in the tube. Ah, interesting. I'm in the United States. My fiance lives in the Philippines. And if could somebody drop Skipping Tin's channel link if you want to have some fun and laugh and sing. Um, she's great. I'm at work. You can't drop links listed on my phone. Okay, we'll drop yours. Don't worry. I'm starting to focus people and shout them out on the community page, which I think is really cool. But if you're a mod, go ahead and drop yours. If you want to drop somebody else's, do it. Um, if there's some channel you really really like, drop it. Drop it like it's hot. I hope that each and every person on here keeps prepping. I hope that each and every one of you really thinks about prepping in a down to earth prepping in the real world. There's a big difference between the doom and gloom and prepping in the real world. There really is. We can all sit around and, yes, I am Billy Badass, and I'm going to prep for doom and gloom for the D Day, for the next one, right? The next big one. I think the biggest thing that's going to happen in the United States is financial stress, which is happening and been happening for the last several years, and it's going to get worse here. I really do. I mean, if you really look at things, the best investment that we could all make in ourselves is to get out of the matrix, get out of the credit cards, get out of the debit cards. And then on top of that is even if you can only afford 1 ounce a month, 1 ounce a week, 1 ounce every 2 weeks, whatever it is to buy up some silver, buy up some junk jewelry of silver and gold because it still holds its weight. It's still going to make you some money. Hello, hello, hello. Teresita, is that you? I don't prep for doomsday. I don't want to survive the end of the world. LOA. I prep for everything short of that. Well, I want to be in doomsday. I want to be like out there, like like I want to be out there like I told you all this was going to happen. But you know what? After being in the Philippines, it was really interesting to me because most of the people don't have refrigeration. Coffee First Then Speak, and I talked about this a little bit. But what was really interesting is we're such puff puff marshmallow asses, right? Puff puff marshmallow asses here in freaking United States. So, if something sits out on the counter, oh shit, we're throwing that shit away. We're not eating it. That's not how it works in the Philippines. You cook your food and you eat on that food until it's gone, and maybe the next day. And at first I was like, am I going to get sick from this? Because, there is that little puff puff marshmallow part of me that's US citizen. I never got sick. I never had any problems with the food. The food was delicious. Somebody freaked out because I took y'all to the wet food market and showed that video, and there's flies swarming. They chop that meat up and you take it home and you eat it and cook it. It was delicious. It's fresh. But the thing that I took from that, especially the comments on that short about the wet food market, is people really don't get that, if you're buying a chicken, that chicken has been out in the wild. Its feet has been on the dirt. When they go to process it and they take it, and you don't see it right here in the United States. We don't see it. So we're like, unless you're a homesteader or a prepper, they do whack its neck off. Oh my gosh. They do pluck its feathers. And there is flies around that process. And so it was funny to me, the responses from that, like, oh my God, are you going to really eat that food? Well, hell yeah, I'm going to eat it. Do we eat chicken out of the grocery store that's been processed, moved, antibiotics, medicine, blah, 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 for 6 months and that finally comes to our table? Yeah, we eat it. What's more disgusting? Fresh flies or old ones? I mean, it's you know what I'm saying is it's kind of up to you which you choose. But honestly, um, even when I was in Mexico, the same thing, you'd go onto the into the street food and there'd be this big, huge hunk of beautiful meat. And you're looking at it, and then the meat moves, right, Ginger? The meat moves. Why is the meat moving? Oh, it's layered in flies. So they would slice off that piece, throw that in the garbage, and you eat the next one. And nothing like street tacos from Mexico. Right. That's the truth. That is the truth. So we have a theme song for this morning and coffee with OTWP and what are you prepping for? So while I play this song, post one thing that you're prepping for or post a question in all capitals when I come back on in 3.5 minutes because it may be I'm going to tell you all this is serious. Shh, are you listening? Hit a one if you're listening in the chat. If you're listening in the chat, I need to see some ones. If you're a lurker, go ahead and you can give me the bird. I don't care. Hit a one if you're listening. I have something really serious to tell you. Y'all ready for this? Coffee first, then speak. You ready? Okay. All right. It may be. It just may be, everybody. Shh. I got to say this quietly on YouTube. Are y'all listening? No, but only Coffee First and Speaks listening. Ginger Bell's not even listening. Screw it. I won't tell y'all. I'll keep it to myself. Then I'll be prepped for it, and y'all won't. Y'all, it just may be. It just might happen. It really. T Long's up in the house. T Long. Oh, Brenda's here. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the truth here. Shh. Listen quietly. We don't want all of YouTube to know this. Alley Cat, you listening? Okay. All right. So it just might happen. You just might be preparing for it. It is our theme song this morning. So remember, you have something you have to do during this theme song, and that is you got to drop the yeah you got to drop what are you preparing for? I'm going to tell you what I'm preparing for. It just may be. It might freaking happen. It might happen, y'all. It might happen. The end of the world as we know it. It might happen.
That's great, it starts with an earthquake. Birds and snakes and aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Eye of the hurricane, listen to yourself churn. World serves its own needs, don't mess up your own needs. Speed it up a notch, speed, grunt, no strength. The ladder starts to clatter with a fear of height. Down height, wire and a fire represent the seven gangs. And a government for hire and a combat site. Laughter wasn't coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down your neck. Team by team reporters baffle Trump to the crop. Look at that low play. Fine, dead. Overflow, population common grow. They don't do save yourself. World serves its own needs. Listen to your heartbeat. Tell me with the rapture and the reverend and the right. You vitriol and patriot.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. That's great, it starts with an earthquake. Birds and snakes and airplanes. And Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself, turn words if stone needs, storm is everyone needs, speed it up a notch, lead, grunt, no strength, the ladder starts to clatter with fear, fight down, high wire and a fire, represent the seven games, and the government for hire, and the combat site, laughter wasn't coming in a hurry with the furies beating down your neck. Team by team reporters baffle Trump, tethered crop, look at that low plane, fine, then solution coming up, but it'll do. Save yourself, world service, no needs. Listen to your heartbeat. Tell me what the wrong turn, the reverend and the right. You patriotic, slam fight, bright light, feeling pretty psyched. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. 6 o'clock TV, I took your coat and for a shower, flushing down, read time, listen to yourself, John, looking in uniform, book burning blood, letting every motive escalate, alternatives generate, light a candle, light a motor, step down, won't you heal, crush, uh-oh, this means no fear, cavalier, renegade, and steer clear, a tournament of lies, offer me solutions, offer me alternatives, and I decline. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. Oh, it's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. Yeah, it's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. I feel just fine.
That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and aeroplanes, Lenny Bruce.
How in the hell do we wipe? That's the question. What do we do? Well, shit. We're going to have a toilet paper shortage. They're already talking about it. Prepare for doomsday. Incoming. Lockdowns. Oh, lockdowns. I ain't listening to their lockdown. I didn't listen to it last time. I'm not listening to it this time. I'm not doing it. Brenda, I'm not listening to it. Okay, let me tell you how they do it. Hold on. I can show you. I can show you. Well, y'all want me to give a demo? Should we do a demo of how to wipe your tush if you don't have toilet paper? Sit in a puddle. Splash patrol. You could splash it. There's many countries that don't have the TP. When I went to the Philippines, I'm going to tell the truth. Like Skipping 10 was like, what do you need? I said, I need coffee. I need coffee. I don't really care about a lot of things, but I need coffee. And who can go without coffee? I can't go without coffee. Are you crazy? Oh, hell no. I cannot go without coffee. It's that would be like unbearable. So I was like, ooh, Lordy, I need coffee. And so I had her get me coffee. Who agrees with me? You got to find a way to wipe your, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that's how they do it, But I think I have this that I can show it. Hold on, let's see if we can share the file. Oh, no. Oh, off the wall. Flies are really bad right now. Flies. Oh my goodness gracious. Flies. We're going to download this real quick and I'm going to show you the interesting thing in the Philippines. What does the Bible say? What does the Bible say about wiping? You never touch this stuff. It's dangerous. It could be dangerous. Now I'm going to show a little video here of something that happened in the Philippines that I thought was really interesting. How they do shit. Well, not shit, but like how they do things, right? So let's watch this.
It is running
really
water,
short.
City water, and this is how you take a shower. This is when you go to the restroom. I like it. I think that if you're really, really prepping, this is truly the prepping lifestyle. I mean, like, really, really the prepping lifestyle. Like, no kidding. This is more on. She has more amenities here than I had at the cabin. I'll tell you the truth. Because she is attached to city water, so the water comes in through the spigots. And I'm gonna let that fill back up. This is the toilet, and this is a very common toilet in the Philippines. There's no tank.
And no tank. Isn't that interesting? Because they're not a bunch of puff puff marshmallow houses. They don't have to have that ushy cushy for their tushy, right? So there's no lid and there's no tank, and so it's like fire in the hole. You just pour the water down the hole. You know, 6 kids, poor on a farm, huh? Well, no, not no, no. There's don't fall in. Well, and the thing is, I have to admit that when I was over there, I noticed that the people of the Philippines are in way, 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 way better shape than us Americans. I mean, they go to Zumba. I mean, their government encourages Zumba on a daily basis. They encourage people to work out on a daily basis, which to me is awesome, right? Yeah, don't fall in because ooh, it could be a catastrophe, right? Lucy's World, what's going on? But the interesting thing to me is that these countries that we look at that we say, oh, that's a third world country, they're in better shape physically than we are. Is their life expectancy shorter? Yeah, of course it is. Take this, hey there, hey, here they tell you take this pill. Yeah, take this pill to wake up, take this pill to go to sleep, take this pill to feel better, take this pill so you don't have anxiety, take this pill. But the thing is their main drinks. Okay, for example, the main drinks is agua. They drink water like nonstop. They're not into the sodas. It's a big deal if you go out and you have a soda because you're in 100-degree weather, right? 100-degree weather, and you're out there drinking a soda, you're going to sweat your balls off even if you don't have balls. You're going to sweat them off. That's just how it is. So they're big on water, tea, and coffee, and their beers at night, right? Their beer at night, San Miguel. But the biggest thing I noticed is the health of those people. I noticed some people some ladies at Zumba that were in their 70s and 80s out there doing Zumba that were in great, great shape, keeping up with the young ladies and the young guys. Um, you'd love to learn yoga. Yoga is very relaxing. Back in the day, Brenda, I learned Tai Chi. And I would like to get in that to that again, but you all know that I've been on the workout kick. That's like really helped me so much is strengthening my core of my body. That is like really, really important. Because like if you're slouching, it's slouching. I mean, if y'all remember, my posture was absolutely terrible uh a year ago. And the more I work out, the taller I feel, the better I feel. When I'm not working out, I feel that shrug coming back because my core is weakening. And the older you get, and this, me and my little brother had a deep discussion about this. The older we get, the quicker we lose our mass of our muscles. So you could work out 2, 3 days, and if you go 2, 3 days without working out, you actually can see a huge difference in your body. And I mean that goes for anything, but as you get older, it's easier and quicker that you lose that muscle mass. I'm not really doing it for muscle. I'm doing it for strength. Um, I think that's really important. And I even bought a bicycle. I even bought a bike. So I'm waiting. I got some new things happening. I'll have a new camera, and I'm really excited about the new camera because I'll be able to take you all on like hikes and stuff like that. You'll be on my chest. I hope you all don't get heavy hanging out on my chest. I have, but I've changed the way I look at food also, Brenda. I have changed the way I look at food. And I've lost weight. I've gained muscle. It's cold here in Colorado yesterday and today. Like today, I got shorts on again, but it's getting cold here in Colorado. And so I went to put on jeans and I'm like, I got to sell the jeans to get new jeans because I was in a 38 waist and I have some 36s and both of them are bagging off me to the point that I have to wear a belt with either one of them. The 38s look hideous and the 36s are like bagging off me. So now I haven't been in a 34 waist in years and years and years. I don't even know how long. So that's exciting when you see that transformation of your body. And that's another thing about prepping is, our health. We talked about first aid a little earlier, but also getting healthy. Yeah, I still smoke, but my cigarettes have went down. One, because of my new career, two, because of my working out, and three, because I realized how I was breathing. And I don't want to carry around a little partner, a little oxygen tank on my back. I really don't. And so I think that's the big thing is like some people say, well, just give it up. Well, don't tell me what to do. I'm grown. But also, I understand y'all care about me. I think the thing is that you have to do things your way and your time, just like prepping. I could sit here and tell you, do this, do this, do this. I've done demos. I've talked about things that we should do, but I can't make you do them. So it takes motivation and dedication to go forward and do that on your own. Like, everybody in the prepping community, I think truly cares about people. That's how I feel about it. No matter if you like somebody, you don't like them, if you really listen to their story, if you really listen to them, everybody has something to contribute on the YouTube platform. And that's why we're here is to contribute to hopefully open people's eyes before it's too late. I think with the things that are happening in the United States, do I think all of it will happen in our lifetime? I don't know. I don't have the magic 8 ball. I don't have the dream a genie bottle. I don't have the 3 wishes from Aladdin. What I do know is that things have changed dramatically in this country. We are seeing more and more of our freedoms stripped away from us. We are seeing them attack the Second Amendment. We are seeing the censorship on platforms all over social media. And then when it comes to speaking about elections, the little guys they want to censor because maybe we're too outspoken, while the big guys can say whatever the hell. And it's the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I believe what my granddad said many, many years ago. He passed away when I was about 13 years old. And woo, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to be 59. He said that someday they would wipe out the middle class. And see, if you get that struggle between the rich and the poor, it's the same thing that happens in third world countries is you have this huge gap. And when you have people that have so much power that they control the people in every aspect from careers to food to water to necessities, then that's that's when you see that the middle class is getting wiped out. For example, in the Philippines, every single day the water and the electric was turned off at a certain time. And I'm like, wow, this is the hottest time of the day. Think about how many elderly people cannot sustain living for 3, 6, or 24 hours without electric and water. Yours is October 12th. Mine is January the 6th. It's right around the corner. I would appreciate this month if I could get 5 new members to help support the trivia and the music programs. Just 5. It's 99 cents. I'm not going to beg y'all. I have so much going on, but I would like to bring back a lot more live streams. But without the support of the members, it's really um, it's hard to play music and things like that. So if you feel like you kind of like me and you can spend 99 cents a month to help, that would be appreciative. Trivia is back. I'd like to build up that because so in December we'll start it November 25th to December 25th, and we'll do the 30 days of trivia. We'll have it every Sunday night. And then at the end of it, we'll give away some gifts depending on how many memberships happen in the next 30 to 60 days. But I like to have trivia. I think trivia is like really important because it gives people a different outlook and it's a fun way to learn. How are you stepping in it, Brenda? I hope that you enjoyed the live today. just some down to earth, real prep and talk. And I hope that this channel continues to bring love, light, and hope to every single one of you. I hope that my life experiences, the things that I've been through, the places that I go, can bring insight to what we do need to prepare for. Is it going to be the end of the world as we know it? The end of the United States, I think, happened a long time ago. I really do. The freedoms, the way that we could just go out and get a job, like I talked about earlier, those things are things of the past. Will we ever get them back? I doubt it. I doubt it. I think it would take the dismantling of the whole swamp, Republicans and Democrats, to come back together for the people. The people of America are becoming outraged and angry. And we see that every day. We see it in more and more young kids using fentanyl, more and more young kids getting addicted to drugs and alcohol. And I think that, and the suicide rates up in the military, the suicide rates up among people. We hear it every day about people taking out their whole families. And I think that the more we see the financial crumble of the United States, the more we're going to see those levels go up and up. And the most important thing we can do is protect ourselves, protect our family, keep our heads on a swivel, be alert when we're going out in public, being alert when we're in a store of where those extra exits are, not just the main exits that everybody's going to run to in case of an emergency. Maybe getting a concealed carry, standing up for our Second Amendment and keeping those rights. Those things should be important to each one of us. We cannot change what the federal government or Israel and Iran's doing, or the shortages that are coming, or the longshoremen. Did that end? I haven't looked. Has the longshoreman thing ended? I mean, now we're going into winter. It's flu season. They're talking about that the toilet paper shortage is coming back. There's so many foods being recalled. Those things we can't change, but that's why we prep. Is that we prep so that we have that little insurance policy, like Ginger Bell said, that we have that little peace of mind that we're trying our hardest, our damnedest to be prepared for any kind of thing. And most importantly, it's really important to be well rounded, not just to concentrate on food, not just to concentrate on first aid, but to be well rounded. And I think skills are the most important thing that we can do. Getting out in the real world, seeing what it's really like, how other people are reacting and feeling. Some people don't even think that anything's different in the United States. I'll tell you what, I see a lot of things different in the United States. People's attitudes, people not caring about their neighbors, people not even knowing their neighbors. When I moved into this neighborhood here in Colorado, I was very blessed. The first week I was here, my neighbor on the right, my neighbor on the left, and my neighbor across the street in the front met me. Right before I left to the Philippines, the neighbor behind me came over and introduced herself. I come home to fresh fruits and vegetables pretty much on a weekly basis. I have some wonderful neighbors. I have some wonderful families that live around me. Not saying all of them are. There's a huge drug epidemic here in this small town. It has about it's much bigger than Willow. It has about 12 to 15,000 people, and then if we include the DOC and the treatment center, it's probably close to 15 or 16,000 people. But the thing is that I see people in this community reaching out to each other and helping each other. Kind of like in Missouri, stepping in it. You pull over on the side of the road and everybody, oh, are you okay? It's the same kind of mentality here in this part of Colorado. As you go into Denver and areas like that, no. Last night in Denver, there was another police officer involved shooting, and they shot somebody dead. That's happening more and more. I think that will continue. I think that we'll see police officers having to shoot to kill more than stop people from committing the crimes. We have the problem out on the West Coast in California where basically you can do anything and it's a misdemeanor. So we're definitely going to see the crime rate go up. And in return, we're going to see the deterioration of more and more cities across this country and middle-sized cities, not just the major cities, because the major cities have already become a major problem. from their schools to their financial systems to their roads to the crime to the gun violence. And I think that we're going to continue to see that escalate. And I can't imagine in the next 5 to 10 years if this country doesn't figure out a way to solve some of the problems where we're going to be at. We have more people incarcerated than anywhere in the world, and I think that that's going to escalate. I do like what Colorado's done. If you're a first-time drug or alcohol offender, they're sending you to halfway homes, treatment centers, like what I work in now. And I think that that's a great thing because Europe and many countries were doing that decades ago. And I think with more people going to these treatment centers and getting help, it's better than incarcerating them and teaching them how to be a criminal more and more in detail. And that's, after working in it now for almost a month, I really see what these treatment centers do for people. And it gives them a breath of fresh air and helps them put their boots back on the ground. And as always have said, this channel is all about love, light, and hope. And that treatment center that I'm working in is definitely giving people hope. And I want to say to every single one of you, if you're having a bad, shitty day, if things are just going really crappy, maybe that relationship, that love is gone. Maybe you split up. Maybe your kid's acting out. Maybe you're in a financial hardship, whatever it is. Remember that tomorrow's a new day and hang on by the hour, by the minute, whatever you got to do, but hang on because there's changes coming. And not only is there's changes coming, but I truly believe, folks, by hanging on just that little bit of more time, it can make a world of difference in everything that happens to you. Don't give up and never give up hope because there's always hope. There's always hope, no matter what happens. I think that many times people give up too quickly. I hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful day. TGIF, and there's changes coming. And but the most important thing is to be the light, love, and hope for somebody. And this goes out to everybody here on the channel. Don't give up. And remember, there's changes coming. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. It's what you make of it, right, folks? It is really what you make of it. I hope that each one of you has a wonderful weekend. I'll see you Sunday night for trivia. And remember, change is coming. God bless you all from here in Colorado to wherever you're at. Make today count and be the light, love, and hope for somebody. God bless.